Hello everyone, I'm Prakash and I'm Unified Communications Engineer and specialized in voice and contact center. In this video, I'm going to talk about Amazon Connect and Lambda integrations and invoke AWS Lambda functions from Connect, passing caller input received from the contact. Also, how you could pass parameters to, to Lambda from Amazon and connect to Lambda and back and forth. So basically, initially we'll talk about what is Amazon Connect. Amazon Connect is an omnichannel cloud contact center. You can set up the contact center in few steps and add agents who are located anywhere and start engaging with your customers. Basically, talking about Amazon Connect, you can spin up an instance and start answering the calls with basic flow with a day or two. But trust me, backend work are there, like porting the numbers if you are already using any. If you are considering about moving to cloud, this would be the right solution when comparing to the other cloud-based contact centers in the market. There will be zero dependency on your contact flow, scripting, and also some integrations that you are performing. So you will have your own. You will have your. You can do your own coding and own integrations without any dependencies. You will have a full control over your own contact center. You can develop your own code without servers, easy to deploy, which is called as a serverless functions. I'm planning to create more use cases on Amazon Connect. This is one of those. Initially, I was searching for free APIs available in the market. So when standing in the bus stop, I realized, okay, I can use this bus arrival time and start searching for it. So Singapore Land Transport Authority provide the bus timings and all this related estimated time of arrival and all this information through an API. So uh, Land Transport Authority Singapore provide as a data mall. So they will provide all related APIs available through HTTP GET request. So in the HTTP GET request, so you have to register for it to get an API access. So you can request for API access here, and you have to put all your informations and details. And as soon as you registered on the other end, once you submitted, they will provide you the API key, so you can communicate with this HTTP GET request through an API. Okay, so I also registered for this already, so I have received an API key. So API key to personal to each and every personal. So I used it as a research purpose. So I'm gonna so first we will retrieve the data using an postman. Also before that, as you you can download the API manual from the website itself, and you can find out what are the information. So actually I mainly required the bus arrival time. Okay, so in my contact flow, what I'm trying to do is get the bus stop code and service number, and pass it through the API and fetch data on the next estimated arrival time. So as a default, they send it on the JSON format, but you can use it. You can retrieve the data on XML format as well. It's up to you. It's so totally up to you. What is it? It's totally up to you. Okay. So we will see how we can do that. So first, initially we will work on the Postman. So they have provided me a API account key. So I'm passing that API account key on the headers format. Okay. So these information actually they have provided on their manual guides, how we can retrieve data. So it's very clear, and so this is how you have to put the as I shown here. Okay, so I'm passing the account key on the headers format, and I have the parameters. So actually bus stop code is a mandatory parameter. So service number you do not have to it is not a mandatory parameters. So for developers like mobile app or any website developers, they can display all the bus related to that bus stop. But I'm using as a mandatory key parameter, since I'm only going to display the specific bus number related to that bus stop. Okay, so in that the case I'm passing bus stop code and service number both to fetch data. Okay, so once you retrieve details, they will provide the next bus and next two bus arrival estimated arrival time, next two estimated next three actually, immediate arrival estimated arrival time, and following next two estimated arrival time. So totally they have three objects here. Okay. Okay, so here, in this request, so we'll check on what is this data is all about. Okay, so we can read this data, so in some JSON format. So so in this data, okay, I'm gonna copy this data to my notepad plus plus. Okay, so here, so the main keys, the main key is services. Okay, then we have value of services in an array of more like objects. Okay, in this case it has three objects, next bus 2 and next bus 3. Okay, each object has a keys like origin code, destination code, estimated time of arrival, latitude, and all this information. For me, estimated time of arrival is the most important thing for my use case. Okay, so I actually thought of decided to use Python for actually this is my I would say this is my first code that I'm writing in my career, because I'm from a okay, I have worked with UCC scripting, but I never used Python for that. So this is the first code that I'm writing on Python. So I searched on a lot of articles to understand how we can pass on the parameters and all these things. So I will go through the call flow that I'm trying to achieve, so that it will be more clear that what I'm trying to achieve. So here, what I'm trying to really do is, okay, a little bit enlarge it so that would be clear. So on my Amazon Connect, so this yellow background is all from Amazon Connect. Okay, actually initially I'll go through how we can develop this call flow on Amazon Connect as well. Okay, initially I'm starting the script. Okay, call flow, and I'm setting the logging behavior so that in the future we can check on the logs on the CloudWatch. So then I'm using a store custom input to get the bus stop code from the contact, actually from the caller. In the Amazon Connect environment, it's called as contact. Each and every call is in contact. So so I'm trying to store the customer input. Please, so I'm gonna play, please input your bus stop code. Okay, so then once the caller input the bus stop code, I'm setting that to an attribute. And that means I'm saving that to a bus stop code attribute. Then again I'm gonna ask, please input your bus number. Okay, so in here I'm using a store customer input and saving that to an attribute called bus number. Okay, then I'm using an attribute to save that bus number. Then I'm invoking Lambda from the Amazon Connect. Okay, so with these two attributes, bus stop code and bus number, I'm passing those parameters to Lambda. From the Lambda, I'm calling the API. Okay, so I'm calling the API. Then once we got the results, I'm returning that value back again to Amazon Connect, and I'm using a play prompt to play that as the next estimated arrival time is 5 minutes or 6 minutes or 2 minutes or 3 minutes, however that I like it. Okay, so let's talk about, okay, probably the next Lambda integrations. This image is more clear. So in this case, first I'm invoking the Lambda from Amazon Connect to Lambda, then from Lambda to data mall, which is provided API provided by Land Transport Authority Singapore. From the Lambda function, once we got the result from the data mall, I'm changing, I'm manipulating the data to whichever the format that I like. From the Lambda, again I'm passing to Lambda Connect. Okay, so just give me a moment, so the picture would be more clear. So here what really happens here is, so from the Amazon Connect, as I said, I'm passing to Lambda, I'm invoking the Lambda, so even that information is passed through the JSON. From the Lambda, I'm using Python to get the API details. So once we get the API data values, I'm using this Lambda function itself to API Python code to manipulate the data to the format that I would like, and again using the JSON format, I'm passing to Lambda back again, and to the Amazon Connect. So this is what I'm trying to achieve here. So this is my Amazon Connect workflow, call flow. So as I mentioned on the call flow, I'm starting with an start, and then I'm setting up the logging behavior here. Okay, it's very simple thing. Enable. Okay, it's very easy, and I'm storing the customer input. So yeah, I've set it up as a, you can select if you would like to a prompt, if you want to select from the prompt from the library. If you have saved any recordings from the S3 bucket, you can point from that. And I'm setting it manually because I don't have a voice recording here, voice clip here. So I'm please enter the bus code number. Okay, so I'm selecting to the customers. So most of the all bus stop codes are 5 digits numbers. So I'm setting as a timeout before first entry is 5 seconds and saving it. Okay, as I said before, okay, I am setting that to an attribute. Okay, so it's an user, actually it's a user defined. You have several attributes. It's only either it's a system defined attribute or user defined attribute. Okay, I'm using a user defined attribute. So I'm mentioning the destination attribute as SCI bus stop code. Okay, then I'm using the attribute because this stored customer input is provided on the documentation that it's a system related variable. So you, if once I set it here, most recent customer input would be stored under this attribute. Okay, so I'm saving that attribute as a SCI bus stop code. Okay, again I'm using a customer input. Here I'm mentioning as please input the bus number. Okay, so that is actually there are bus numbers which is available with the English letter like E for express, something like that. So I didn't handle those cases in this use case. Okay, we can do that. It's not that thing that difficult. Okay, we can do that for sure, but just handling for the moment I put it as maximum digits is 3. Okay, so again I'm setting that to an attribute from the store customer input. This attribute I'm setting it as SCI bus number. Okay, you can see I'm using a lot of play prompts here. So all these play prompts are to handle the error. That's only for my only for these test cases. So if it's on a real life environment, you can use it on a different way. Maybe you can use an increment and please try again, and if the 2-3 increments are over, you can disconnect the call. You can do something like that. So here what I'm trying to do is store bus stop code error. So and after that it immediately go and disconnects the call. Okay, here on this area I'm saying first store attribute error. Okay, so if there's an error has been identified on this first store, it will play a prompt saying please input the bus stop code. And if there's error on that store customer input, it will immediately say that okay, first store attribute error. So I would clearly understand, okay, the error is over here. Okay, so likewise I have retrieved all the data. So each and every step also I'm playing that whatever the data is being retrieved. So once let's assume, okay, for an example, here I'm having a play prompt here. Okay. Set attribute. Okay. First, just bear with me for a minute. So attribute success. Okay, so once the customer is input the bus stop code number, I am playing that it will be played as your input is uh, your bus stop code number. For an example, I'm calling my contact center. See, just want to let you can show that it would be more clear. Please enter the bus stop code number. So I'm gonna input 85099 here. Your input is 85,099. Okay. Please input the bus number. Okay, I'm gonna put 2. Your input is 2. Arriving in 6 minutes and 20 seconds. So every time I'm a customer input, so I'm trying to play that input, whether I'm just to check whether if I'm storing the data correctly or not. So now I'm invoking the Lambda. So actually, on the integrate step over here, okay, you can drag and drop you can just drag and drop invoke Lambda module here, and once you click on that invoke Lambda, you will have this option. Okay, so here I'm selecting the function. So how I will definitely show you in the future on this video itself where we can integrate this. You have to integrate on the Amazon instance on the Lambda that your Lambda function that you're using. So that is the, and I will let you know where we can copy this ARN function ARN number. Okay. Also then I'm passing these two parameters. I'm passing these two parameters that I defined on my previous step to the Lambda itself. Okay, so then I'm using a play prompt. Okay, play prompt to find out external final arrival time. Okay, so I will let you know what is this external arrival final arrival time also. Okay, I'm actually returning this from the Lambda. Okay, so this is a very simple script that I used to explain this, only to explain this use case. So talking about Lambda is very simple. I mean, spinning up the Lambda function is it's quite easy. Okay, it's very straightforward, just like installing a software next. So you search for the Lambda, okay, and you have to click on this Lambda. Okay, it will open, but to create a function you have to click on here, create a function from the scratch. You can put your function as like whatever the function you would like to, bus top code or something like that, and you can decide what type of programming you are going to use. I used Python for this. This is my first Python. For this purpose only I explored the Python programming. It's not that easy as I expected, so one of my friend also shared this image with me. So it's maybe I thought that, from the images I thought that it could be easy, but it's not that easy as I expected. Once I dig deep into it, gave me a lot of errors, so I bet for every errors that I'm populating. So just bear with me with my code. It would be not that structured. So instead of Python also you can use PowerShell scripting, Java you can use it. So I select Python and I can just create the function. Okay. Once you click on create in a matter of minutes, it will create the function. So my function has been created. Okay, so I told you, right, on my previous Amazon Connect call flow, from this Lambda. So this function I copied from here. Okay, so I copied this function URL, I pasted over here, and that's how you invoke that specific Lambda function from the Amazon Connect. Okay, so it doesn't that's straightforward. There are few other things that we need to focus. Okay, so I will go through that in a while. Okay, so once it's been created, we can start coding on this Lambda function. Once you have created the Amazon, so now I'm going to talk about how we are going to integrate the Amazon Lambda function into the Amazon Connect. Okay, so you come back to the Amazon Connect, your instance. Okay, uh, click on this instance, then again click on the regular. I mean, it's my admin. My instance is regular network admin. Okay. After coming here, come to that contact flows. So you will be populated like this. So click on that add Lambda function here. Okay. So you can select whatever the Lambda function that is been created already. So uh, my use case Lambda function is LRT. Okay, so it's already integrated, but it will not show since it's already integrated. It's not show in this drop down list. So my recently created bus stop code function is being shown here. So I'm going to select that, and I'm gonna select that and click on add Lambda function here. Okay, so once it's been selected, it will once it's been selected here, it shows as it's integrated here. Okay, you can see it's pretty much straightforward. So okay, so this is I copied my whole Lambda function to this notepad plus plus. Okay, so this is my code. Basically I'm passing these two parameters. So passing this, actually Amazon Connect also pass its parameter. Amazon Connect also passes parameter to Lambda using a JSON format. Okay, so that is something that we need to understand here also. So as I shown in this picture, okay, uh, as I shown in this diagram, um, actually Amazon Connect also pass the data on the JSON format. So Lambda also API also passing the data on the JSON format. Okay, so I actually use this. I actually use this guide. I put it on the description link. I use this guide to structure my code. Actually, this is not that straightforward as it has mentioned here. So I can go through with that. So initially what I'm trying to do is I'm passing those two parameters. So actually Amazon Connect actually passes the data on this format. Okay, so the key is details. Under the key details we have objects called parameters. Under the parameters it passes these parameters like this. Okay, so I'm using the same parameter, so I'm using the details. Under the parameters, my attributes are SCI bus stop code and SCI bus number. So using the request, I imported the import request library, and from there I'm passing the URL. I mentioned the parameter as bus stop code, the parameter 1 and parameter 2, and I'm mentioning the count key. I'm passing that URL, parameters and headers on the request. Then I'm receiving. So actually data mall LTA data mall also passes through the JSON format. So on here I'm getting the first immediate estimated arrival time. Okay, and then again so to find out the current Singapore time, I'm using the Python library. Okay, from that I'm defining the library, and then I'm deducting the current arrival time. Okay, the time 2 is an estimated arrival time here. The time 1 is the current Singapore time, so time 2 is anyway always going to be a higher value than the time 1. So I'm deducting the time to deducting the time uh, deducting the time 2 minus time 1. Okay, and then what actually I'm doing is so this is on the time format, right? So I'm actually splitting to minutes and seconds. Okay, uh, splitting this minutes to seconds, minutes and seconds separately. Anyway, it's gonna be not gonna be hours, so probably it's 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 15 minutes or 20 minutes or 30 minutes, something like that. Okay, so that then I'm using this if condition. Okay, so okay, while trying out this code, I went through a error where the time 1. Okay, at some point actually time 1, which is country time, uh, country time got higher than the arrival time. Okay, that means the buses got delayed by 1 or 2 minutes. Okay, uh, so in that the case, when I was deducting this time, it displayed in -1 day or 2 days. One actually not 2 days; it's 1 day minus values. Okay, so I couldn't put that to the data to the Amazon Connect back again. So for that, what I did was I'm using a if condition here. If time 1 is less than time 2, then I'm passing this arrival minutes, which I splitted on this splitted here, and I'm saying that okay, the arriving in the arrival minutes and arrival in seconds. Okay, so this is my first code actually. Okay, so apologize me for the I couldn't I mean not that really the codes. So I'm using this result map. Okay, I'm using the result map to send the data to return the value that I received from my previous if condition. Okay, so if time is higher, okay, if time 1 is higher, then it will respond as that the bus is arriving now. Okay, probably it's 1 or 2 minutes delayed, but still I'm saying as arriving now. Okay, I'll take you to my Lambda function here. Just bear with me for a minute. Okay, so when you see here, you can see that final arrival time is 15 minutes and 38 seconds. Okay, for the specific number. So I'm actually I created a test event called test events, and I just copied the JSON format that supposed to pass from the. I mean, so this is the JSON format that it passes from Amazon Connect to Lambda. So use the same format. You can find it over here as well. When you click on if you click on create new event, you will find the Amazon Connect JSON format. Just bear with me for a minute. Amazon Connect. Yeah, connect contact flow. Okay, so you can I'm actually kind of using the same thing, same setup. So in my case, I'm actually using this, and I'm passing the parameters as SCA bus stop code 85509 and 14. For this, if I run this if I run the test, okay, the bus is arriving in next 7 minutes and 13 seconds. Okay, so I'm passing this back value to the Amazon Connect. Okay, When working with Amazon Connect, few things I would like to highlight it here. Um, Actually, my the request library and Python library did not work. Okay, for that, what I did was I installed it on my local machine. I zipped it to the folder and click on add layer here, and I choose this custom layer. I clicked on custom layers and I added those packages here. So I'm not going to add it here because I already added those here. Okay, already added to the layers. So then only it started working. So some libraries are not there on the Lambda 3. Python 3.9, so that I imported those things. So okay, so the real okay, I'll come back to the basic scenario back again. So I'm setting the logging behavior. I'm storing the bus stop code number. Okay. Then I'm setting that to the attribute, and then again I'm asking for the bus number, and then I'm setting that to an attribute, and again I'm invoking the lambda. Okay. With the parameters that I have received already. Uh, then um, then I'm invoking the lambda. From the lambda, I'm calling the API from the LTA data mall API, which was provided by LTA, and passing that value back to Amazon Connect again using the functions. So function is already integrated. Function is already integrated with Amazon Connect instance over here. Okay, I just integrated using the function here. Then I value pass that value to Amazon Connect. Okay, that's very simple. Actually, it took like 3 weeks for me to develop all this and explore all this coding and Amazon Connect flow. So I'll repeat the test again. Please enter the bus stop code number. So once again, I'm going to put it as 85099. Your input is 85,099. Please input the bus number. So this time I'm going to select as bus number 2. Your input is timeout. Lambda error. Okay, so here I got a lambda error. So why I got the lambda error? Because my bus number got a my bus actually my bus stop. I didn't put the bus number on time. Okay, it got timed out. So that when it invoking the lambda, what really happened was it didn't pass it passed the empty value, so that it represented the lambda error. So what I can do is, instead of directly pointing to the lambda, I can check if the customer has inputted the right bus stop code and both together. Okay, in that the case I can ask if, okay, so here if it got time out or error, I can point it to another. uh, I can loop this. Okay, if customer did not type the bus stop code number, I can say please. I can use the increment here, which is already available, and play that. Okay, uh, please input the bus number. Okay, if they have put the bus number, then again I can loop it around. Uh, if the customer did not provide the bus number thrice, then I can disconnect the call directly. Okay, these things can be done. So I didn't do that on my call flow. Okay, I'll test it again. So okay, so we will test whether if my code and if my Amazon Connect is showing the right value. So there's a bus stop code called 84059. 84059, and service number is, I'm gonna put it as 24, which arrives on that bus stop. Okay, so the next arrival time is estimated arrival time shows as 2250. So which is okay, it's actually arriving now. Okay, so let's try that. Please enter the bus stop code number 84059. Your input is 84,059. Please input the bus number 24. Your input is 24. Arriving now. Okay, so we were able to see the arriving now also. So we'll test on another bus stop code. I'm going to use it as 85091, and the bus number is, I'm going to use it as maybe 9. So gonna arrive in another 5 minutes time. I mean another 3 minutes time. Okay, I'm gonna call this. Please enter the bus stop code number 85091. Your input is 85,091. Please input the bus number 9. Your input is 9. Arriving in 2 minutes and 47 seconds. Okay, yeah. So this is what I have explored. And one other thing. Okay, so you can see that there is a pause time once you enter the bus number. Okay, in that the case to, I mean that's actually now I can clearly see that when I was trying to do that, but you can avoid that by just inputting a play prompt or hold on music. We can drag and drop this hold, and you can hold the customer customer on hold for some time, and you can unhold it, and excuse me, sorry. You can unhold it, and then you can point it to the customer. So probably it would be the customer would experience that pause time. That's all about it. If you need if you need anything any help related to this, you can always ask me. Thank you.